How's it going, everyone? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, aka the Lonely Hermit, and today, ladies and gentlemen, get to episode 22 of our Sun and Moon Shinylocke Soul Link with our main man, Jechnician. How you doing?
I had to blow my I'm doing fantastic if you did not notice.
Woo! And today we'll probably make landfall in Po Town. I don't know how far we'll get into Po Town. We have a shiny hunt to do as well, but we should be getting to Po Town, so that'll be fun. But before we get into all that, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Of course, check out Jechnician in the description down below alongside all his socials. Also make sure to leave a like and on this video, and of course check out the playlist link for the series in the description. Check out the rest of the videos. If you're watching this one, if for some reason you haven't watched the other ones, or maybe this is the first one you're watching, be sure to check out the playlist link so you can get all caught up with the series. And all the craziness that's happened with it. Also, quick heads up, there will be no episodes next week because I will not be able to record, so there will be no episodes next week. After that, the week after that, we will be returning to our regular 4-episode schedule. So that way we can crank this game out because we're already pretty close.
Yeah, this game actually went before we started. Really fast. Yeah, before we started this, I was like, Sun and Moon takes it's a relatively long game, but at the pace that we're going, we've been flying through this game. Like we're the speedsters right now.
So we'll be crushing through this game. But also 200 subscribers celebrations will be beginning the first week of August. Woo! It should be, I'm planning for the Friday, August 6 is what I'm planning for the Y Baby only run to start. And on that day as well, the merch store will be released. And I also have one more thing that I am planning. I haven't brought it up in my solo series, so I'm not going to bring it up yet. But be sure to check out Monday's episode of Pokemon X because it will be up there. This coming Monday, not the one that just passed. You know what I mean? So yeah, but like I said, we have a shiny hunt to do, and we want to just knock it out the park, and then we are gonna finish our conversation about Gens 5 through 8. We'll get back to it. We're gonna be doing that today, but we want to knock out this this shiny hunt to start. So we'll catch you guys in a second. All right. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pretty lengthy shiny hunting session there.
Pretty much.
So we decided in there, because our Route 16 encounters, our Route 16 pair wasn't the best. I'll just tell you what Jech got. Jech got Vullaby. No, you got on Route 16. Jech got Vullaby on Route 16. I got Onyx. Not the best pair. Not gonna lie. At least right now. So we decided to burn one of our tokens. We burned the egg or the Zygarde, whichever one. We just burned one of our tokens. We went back to Route 15 and actually fished, and I ended up getting a shiny Brion. Got it up to Primarina. And right now it's got Tinted Lens, which is a very good ability, as well as Sparkling, Aria, Aqua Jet, Disarming Voice, and Sing. We dropped Seismitoad and Aegislash because it benefited Jech. I got a Water Fairy type, which is great. I'll take that. So I still have a very good diverse team, and Jech loses the Steel type and gets a mon that's not bad. Do not knock Giraffary. It's actually a pretty good mon.
The only thing I was thinking about, is there something I could put on Giraffary? Because I was thinking like, Eviolite would be good on it, but it does evolve, so Eviolite wouldn't do anything. I'm trying to think if there is some. Isn't there an item that boosts its defense? Assault Vest, doesn't that boost defense?
Assault Vest.
Because if I could put that on me or something, I need to do something about his defenses. But its typing is good for me, and I really like it shiny, so that is good for me. Look at this. I mean, how do you not like this? Oh, okay. Whoa. No, that's not.
I can't see it on that.
Wait, does this? Okay. Does this get Pursuit?
We're probably.
Would it still have Pursuit at level 35? I don't think so.
Oh, I'll check for you. Okay, concern. Gen 7, Sun and Moon. No, it's gonna have Sucker Punch, Spikes, Payback, and Ingrain. It actually does not learn Pursuit.
Wow, I didn't know
that. But we're back, and like we said, we were gonna talk about Gens 5 through 8. So I'd say let's talk a little bit on 5 and 6 because we didn't quite finish our conversation, but we did speak a lot on those two generations. So let's keep it a little brief. So Gen 5, probably my favorite gen. The only gen that has a sequel. I believe I brought that up.
Yep.
And I think that makes it very, very special.
Yep.
Because there's no enhanced version. There's no Pokemon Gray. There's none of that. It's Pokemon Black and White 2.
Yep.
And the region feels different. The region feels unique. They added new things to make it feel unique. They added things to just make it feel like Unova, but like a fresh experience in Unova, which I very much appreciated. But beyond that, it is just a fun game that's got a decent amount of challenge. It's got the biggest Pokédex, for better or for worse, the biggest Pokédex out of all the games. For those of you who want to complain about the ice cream cones in the trash can, I think I said this in that episode, we talked about it. I will point to your piece of sludge and your Pokeball. So don't even go there. But I just think those games are incredibly fun, unique, and picking New York was actually a pretty good setting for them. And I think they did it well, to be honest, because Castilla City is one of my favorite cities out there. Like, for sure. You want to,
and I was gonna say, look, and people already know, if you've watched and you've talked to me about Pokemon and stuff, you guys already know Gen 5 will probably always be my favorite gen. I'd be surprised if they ever come out with another generation that I love more. Gen 5 is just not just nostalgia, it's not just the generation that brought me back into Pokemon, but Gen 5, there's just something about the...
By the way, you need to go up.
I was just, okay. I was gonna fight that guy, but it's okay. So, they chose such a great place to base it off. Everything about the region is just, I don't know, there's just something about it. I just love it. Every area, there's something that I love about it. If it's just the town, the people in the town, the storyline in that town, there's always just something about it. Like Josh said, it's the only games that made a sequel. Not a remake, not a sequel. It's so cool. And I think they did it so well where you're playing through it, you know it's a sequel. Because you have a different character that you're playing as. If you're playing the guy or the girl, you have a different rival. And your old rivals are grown up. They're different in the fact that they're not just...
One's the gym leader, one's the professor's assistant.
It's so cool to me. And gym leaders, they talk about what happened in the past as well. The people that you fight, okay? First of all, when you fight them, they have different clothes that they wear. It's so cool. It's just so cool to me. So Gen 5... top, it's my favorite, and probably will always be. That's some of it, and the Pokédex as well. Most of the mons up in the Pokédex, I love that it was the first game that the whole Pokédex were new mons. Was it returning mons? Was new mons until Black 2, White 2, and even Black 2, White 2 even better for me. Loved it even as much as I did the first game. So that's Gen 5 for me.
So Gen 6, which is, we said we're gonna count remakes in their generation, in the generation they were made. So Gen 6 does include Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and of course the main games, X and Y. I, to this day, I'm still pretty indifferent about X and Y. I'm currently playing through X and Y, or X, and still I can't say I'm the biggest fan of those games. I found them to be really easy and simple, but on top of that, more so than everything else, they just dragged. The pacing of the games is not the best. I'm figuring that out now. I mean, every other series I've done thus far, I've gotten 2 badges within the first week. This is the first series where I only got 1 in the first week because of how long it takes. And on top of that, I had to skip some things to make sure that I could stay on time and get that second badge. So the pacing of the game can be really weird, and the example I'll pull for you, or the real life, I guess, experience I'll pull for you is Carlos, my brother-in-law, just recently finished playing Pokemon X. And it took him about 2 months because he spent so many times. I mean, yeah, he has a life, but there were so many times where he just didn't want to play the game because he was just bored.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him because sometimes I would get that feeling too. It's been really hard. Like playing it randomized is better because it's unique. But we said this when we were talking about last set episodes. We talked about this. We're only talking about the vanilla version of the game. So the version you pick up from the store is the version we're talking about. And I like the Pokédex. My problem was not with the Pokédex. I think it's actually a pretty strong one. It's I think the smallest.
Is it? Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's the smallest. If not, it's definitely like top 2.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is the smallest though. I like the Pokédex. They went for quality over quantity, and I think it paid off because a lot of the mons in that gen are pretty damn good. But the story is kind of meh. The evil team is pretty meh. The difficulty of the game is pretty meh. I definitely, I don't think it's bad per se. I think aesthetically it's one of the better games for sure. Like it's a pretty game. The soundtrack is great. But other than that, I mean, it would definitely, like I said, I don't think it's bad, right? It would definitely be on the lower end of the Pokemon games for me. I don't think it reaches the depths of Red and Blue, but it's not my most favorite. And whenever I play through Vanilla, I genuinely have not. I think that's the only Pokemon game I haven't played through twice.
Wow.
After Gen 1, Vanilla.
Yeah.
I played Gen 2 twice. I played. Well, I guess you could say I played Red and Blue twice because I played Red and then I played Yellow. So I guess you could say, or I played Blue then Yellow. So I guess you could say I played that one twice, but.
There's another patch.
X and Y.
There's another patch of grass.
Yeah.
Actually, so there's probably...
I went there.
Okay, you went there.
There's 3 patches of glass.
Oh, really?
Grass.
Glass.
Not glass.
Yeah. Continue.
But yeah. What are some of your thoughts on?
All right. Well, people probably not like my opinion because I'm always honest with everything I say, and probably a lot of times people don't like what I have to say. Because like if I don't like something, I will say off the bat, I did not like Kalos at all. Story was mediocre to me. First time I played it, aesthetically, really liked it. Because I remember getting Kalos for the first time, was my first 3DS game. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Seeing the mons, having Mega Evolution. That was the biggest thing about Kalos for me. It was the only thing keeping me into the game. Because story is not good. The anime, such a cool anime. This game story, man, they dropped the ball, I felt. Because I'm bored with the story. I feel like there's no competition. The gym leaders have no competition for me. The villains, they're so bad. Team Flare. Team Flare. I don't like. You're not scary. You're not threatening to me. And Lysander, what are you doing, guy? What are you doing? So I don't know. To me, Kalos just the story. Just talking about the story, it was super mediocre to me. The Pokédex though, I liked it. I really liked a lot of the mons that they came out with. Like I said, Mega Evolution was the biggest part for me in Kalos. What else? There's not a lot for me to say about.
I mean, for those of you who might say, "Oh, it's too easy because maybe you had the XP share on." I turned it off halfway through the game. I think after when I first played through, I turned it off after what's the 4th gym leader I just faced? Ramos.
Yeah, me too.
And
me too.
I still overlevel like crazy. Like it's so incredibly easy in those games to overlevel with or without the XP share.
Yeah. It
got to a point where when I even got close to finishing the game, I was at like Diantha's ace. Yeah. Like I was with Gardevoir pretty much. So
yeah, and then I did the same thing the second time around because I tried both because I played through X and I played through Y because I had both. I played the first time. I played it with the XP share, with befriending your mons with the training and stuff.
Oh, that's it.
And that was just like, oh my god, this was a wash. Like, nothing could stand in my way. The second time, I didn't even have my XP share on. at all through the game. I didn't train my mons at all with the friendship and stuff, and it was still a wash. Like, there was no competition. So
I feel like the trainer AI is kind of more dumb in that game too.
Yeah.
Like,
so
they just make the most stupid decisions.
yeah. So I think I still have to agree with you with it's not as low as Generation 1. I love Gen 1, but like I said last time, it was my bottom game. It was like last tier for me.
Well, because that's like the main reason I always hear from everyone is you gotta respect it because it's the OG, and I'm like, okay, but that doesn't mean you can't acknowledge his faults. So
well,
like,
yeah. See, like I said last time, even if I'm an OG, like I played from Generation 1, I will acknowledge that it's not the best game. There's so many faults into it, and it's not because, it's because it was my first game and nostalgia that I'm gonna put it and rank it so high. It was my bottom tier, and even for this, it's Generation 6, right? It's probably my lower tier of games. Like, it's probably not last, but second to last or third to last. It's just, it's not high for me. So to
keep the discussion moving, because we still have a few more games to talk about here. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Let's keep this one relatively brief, because it is a remake, but arguably the best remake. I think literally the only thing missing from ORAS was Battle Frontier. If it had Battle Frontier, it would have been the perfect remake, honestly, in my opinion. It recreated Hoenn in a very good way, and it made it new, unique. Not to mention Mega Evolutions were in the game. They added more Mega Evolutions for the game. I know most of them are Hoenn, but that makes sense because we're going to Hoenn, and those are the majority of Pokemon you're going to see. The Champion's Ace got a Mega, just like in X and Y, which is really cool. And the whole region just felt good. The whole region felt nice. I played through those games a lot of times, even just vanilla, not even randomized. I played through those games multiple times, and even randomized, I played through those games now like 3 times while doing my YouTube career. I played through them like 3 times now. They are very fun, and like I said, probably the best remakes, save for the Battle Frontier, but at the same time, the Delta episode was a very good piece of post-game content. I mean, a really good piece of post-game content, so I can't really complain too much. So yeah, your elevator pitch for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Like I said, I'm sorry I ranted off about Kalos. There's just oh my god.
That's fine.
There's just one more thing, one other reason. I felt like Kalos could have had Z for it because there's so much content that they didn't play on. But anyways, ORAS, really fast. I agree with everything you said. Best remake. The whole thing, which being on 3D graphics, just made ORAS just so good. Mega Evolutions, all the so many Mega Evolutions, the gym battles, and let me just say, Wally's team at the end slaps, my dude.
Really good.
I remember hearing it for the first time. I left my DS on the table for a second. I was like, I was like,
it's like motivational.
It was so good. Like, and Wally seeing his transformation from being a sickly boy to,
I think it was a lot better in the remakes, to be honest. What they did with it.
Oh yeah. Because in the normal games, you don't really see the difference. Like seeing his emotion, grabbing his necklace with the Mega Evolution, and him being like, "I'm gonna battle you 1-on-1, like with our strongest teams." It's just like right now, my hairs are standing up. I love that scene. But that's what I feel about ORAS multiple times.
I will say that I personally agree with Derek's point of view that Fire Red, Leaf Green are the best remakes for the reason of they pretty much were exactly what Kanto should have been.
Yep.
They are the version of Kanto. They're the best version of Kanto. And they did exactly what a remake's meant to be, and it's meant to be like the best version of.
Before we continue, I'm in a predicament here. I'm going against a Mega Heracross here, and most of my mons are weak to fighting. and I don't know what to do. Like, the only mon that has a super effective move against it is my Savvy, my Mercurino, and that was one shot.
Okay. I would say.
Do you think I outspeed it with Mercurino? I don't think so, right?
Probably not. But I would say, how come you haven't hit it yet? Did you switch out or something?
Yeah, because I had Fus for Dab, and it's still weak against fighting. And
no, I know, but have you hit it with Gyarados or anything like that?
No, I had to switch out both because
okay, so heal Magyarna, hit it with Gyarados, and see what you do. I think first of all, I think you should try to see what kind of damage you can get off, because I don't know about Heracross's defense. I don't think it's the greatest, to be honest with you, but I could be wrong. I'm probably just thinking of Heracross, not Mega Heracross. Yeah, Heracross is special. It's got decent defense. It's got worse special defense.
Well, I almost one-shot it, so.
Okay, I think you should be able to handle it.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Sure. Yeah, it's just if it crits though.
Just keep healing.
Yeah.
Just keep healing. A crit shouldn't kill you from that. No, a crit should not kill you.
Okay, I killed it. Okay, continue. So continue. Okay. Sorry.
But yeah, Derek's reasoning. He said actually put. I'm surprised he put Heart Gold Soul Silver at the bottom of his list of remakes. He just said that Fire, and I agree, Fire Leaf Green were the best versions of Kanto. It's exactly what Kanto should have been from the beginning.
Yep.
But with that being said, I still think Oras are fantastic remakes and great games on their own. Like, regardless, like, there's still great games that hold up on their own.
Yep.
But Gen 6 out the way, we gotta get a move on here. Gen 7, Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Great games as well.
Yep.
Big controversies, a couple of things, trials,
so
which, I mean, I kind of don't agree with, because I feel like trials are basically just gyms, but with a different name and a different setting. You're not in a building. That's pretty much it. You still do a little challenge, and then you fight a main battle.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same idea. It's not really that different. Like, I didn't see the whole hullabaloo over it. But I that's just me. That's my thoughts on trials. Z moves, kind of whatever for me. I'm indifferent about them. I don't hate them. I'm not crazy about them either. I know they basically make Z moves and megas for Gigantamax, but the thing is yeah, the Z moves are, I'm indifferent about them. But the region as a whole, very pretty region. Obviously, it's based on Hawaii, so of course it's gonna be
very pretty, yeah.
Yeah, and then the dex is pretty solid. There's a couple outliers, in my opinion, that are very weird, like Bruxish. But there's also the other ones would be the Ultra Beasts, because those cause some friction in the community, because people thought they were too weird, which it was kind of the point.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it was kind of the point. They were from a different dimension, whatever. So, I mean, that was the point. I think my biggest gripe with Gen 7 was the fact that Ultra Sun and Moon exist. Because I think at that point, the enhanced version had gotten played out. But on top of that, they released 2 enhanced versions. They could have done like Ultra Eclipse or something. I don't know, but they released 2 enhanced versions. That would have been a really cool title. And on top of that, I mean, I know all the other enhanced versions are usually better, but at the same time, Ultra Sun and Moon are just so much better than Sun and Moon. But there's 2 of them, and it was just a really big cash grab from Game Freak there, which is really annoying, because the enhanced version by that point had already gone played out. By the time like Platinum rolled around, it was already kind of played out. But to not only release an enhanced version again, but to do 2 and make them both the regular price, it was rough. So that gripe I can get with, the Ultra Sun and Moon gripe. That one I can definitely see why people would get frustrated over that, because I got frustrated over it as well.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I think these games are fun. They're unique. They don't feel like any other Pokemon game. Ultra Sun and Moon are amazing, in my opinion. They are very, very, very solid games and hold up. So yeah, what you thinking in that beautiful brain?
So a lot of controversy, but me and Josh talked about it even before we started playing this game. I really liked Sun and Moon the first time I played it, and even to this point, obviously we're not playing the vanilla version, but I really loved the region. Really loved the region. It was so beautiful. It felt so different. So good because it put you in a good mood seeing all the beautiful scenery, being on the beach and stuff. And being the trials, like I said, the first time I played through it, it was a refreshing thing. It's something that I had never done. I said it before, I do like gyms better, but if you consider trials are like gyms, it's the same thing. So you just have a little more, instead of fighting multiple guys in the gym, you have little tasks that you need to do. And I think it's interesting. Yeah. It was a cool concept that they took while doing this game, and I liked it. Mons are really good. I love the decks for Sun and Moon. Really like the Mons. Z moves, I actually didn't really like Z moves. I rarely even used it in the first playthrough. I was like, I like Mega Evolution better, but I was like, I get it. It's a different region. They want to do something new. But I guess I was just indifferent. I didn't dislike them, but I didn't like them. It was just like, it was there. The Tapus, really like them. Legendaries, really like them. Ultra Beasts, I thought they were really cool. I thought even if they were super weird, I guess, I didn't think they were weird. I thought it was just like, this is awesome. Like, they really went out of their way to do something. A last thing I want to say about this is I do completely agree about the cash grab. First time, obviously, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, they did the same thing. They made 2 instead of just 1. So, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I just felt it was a cash grab. You could have just done 1, or you could have just done 1 game in general. Like, just 1 game, put everything inside. I don't know. It's just, I felt like it was just too greedy to do that. But, yeah, that's my feelings for Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon.
So finally, probably the most controversial region, I guess, or games. Obviously, there are 2 more Gen 8 games coming out. They're not out yet, so we can't have an opinion on those yet, because they're not out yet. And that would be obviously Brilliant Diamond, Shiny Pearl. Yeah. Those are going to be considered Gen 8 because they're remakes in Gen 8. But more importantly, the most recent main series titles, Sword and Shield. Like I said, probably the most controversial games to date. You'll still hear people's opinions to this day. Bad. And they were kind of I feel like they were honestly loved by a lot of people. Oh, yeah. But the vocal majority was people who hated the game. The people who were being loud about it were the ones that didn't like the game, / probably didn't even give it a chance. But I personally really enjoyed Sword and Shield when I first played it. I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. I hadn't had that much fun with a Pokemon game for a while. I mean, I had fun with Ultra Sun and Moon, but I was kind of at a point with Pokemon where I wasn't really playing it as much, so I wasn't really having a lot of fun with it. I hadn't had that much fun in the game since Oras had come out. XY kind of soured my tastes, and then Oras came out, brought it back up, but since then I really hadn't been able to have that much fun. But Sword and Shield just kind of reignited that in me again. And I won't lie, I probably wouldn't be doing YouTube if Sword and Shield hadn't been as much fun for me, because I probably wouldn't be playing Pokemon as much. I had a lot of fun with those games. In my opinion, the wallet area was the best thing they could have done. The wallet area is amazing. The fact that people say they spent like 40 hours in the game before they even got to the first gym was crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what the wallet area can do to you. And again, I'm going to pull from a real life experience. Carlos just got a Switch and he just got Shield, which... sword superiority. No, I'm just kidding. He literally is addicted to the raids right now. Like he did so many raids. I was at his house and he was just doing so many raids and grinding his Pokemon, doing things like that. And I think there's just a ton of fun. It's the first story where the adults actually do something, where you don't have to do all the work. It's got an okay post game. Sword and Shieldbert, I think is their names, are like, man. It's a decent post game. Cool legendaries, very cool legendaries, if I do say so myself. Eternatus is weird, just like the Ultra Beasts, and I'm okay with it. Not to mention that this is the first game that has DLCs. that ad, and I know a lot of people say, oh, they locked behind paywalls, which not really, because you can get them traded to you, because everyone can get all the Pokemon from the DLCs. But regardless, fun, unique stories. I will say a little too short in my opinion. I'd say maybe another hour's worth of gameplay would have been really good, but they add new areas that look really nice. 2 new legendaries. I love Urshifu and Kubfu. They are fantastic freaking legendaries. Calyrex, Shadow Rider, and Ice Rider are better than just Calyrex, but still cool nonetheless. Shadow Rider Calyrex is Spectrier is what it's called on its own. I just had a lot of fun with those games. I get that my biggest thing with the National Dex, I wasn't really stressed that they took out the National Dex. What I was more stressed about is that they promised better graphics, and to a certain degree they did pay off, because in my opinion Sword and Shield are the best looking Pokemon games. Like, that's kind of a gimme. I mean, it's on the Switch, of course.
It's a given. Like,
yeah.
It's the last one.
Exactly, but I feel like they could have done a little bit better with the animations. I feel like that's where they kind of failed. But at the same time, I hadn't had that much fun in a Pokemon game in a long time, and I'm playing through Shield again. It's like the 3rd time I'm playing through these games, and I still am having fun with it. I'm still having fun with it. Still, because it's what I love. Jech and I were literally just talking about this. You can have whatever team you want. The wild area allows you to have whatever team you want to run. You want to do a psychic only run, do it. You want to do a fairy only run, do it. You want to do a fire only run, do it. You want to do a water only run, go ahead. You could do whatever you want with the game, and it's just so much fun because it's linear in how you have to go through the region, but at the same time you don't have to go and do the objective at that time. You know, so I had a ton of fun with the games. I had a ton of fun with the DLCs. I personally would rank them pretty high on my list because I had a lot of fun with Gen 8. And yeah, that's Sword and Shield for me.
So, Sword and Shield was amazing to me. I know, like you said, so a lot of controversy. I understand, I guess, but I didn't fall prey to all the expectations and stuff, because I always try to just put my expectations in the middle. Whatever we get, so I'm not disappointed when I got it, and I wasn't. Jenny, fantastic job. The wild area, let me just say, the wild area was so good. It's amazing how they did it, because I remember hearing about it for the first time. I was like, how are they actually gonna do it? And you go there, you can spend all your time. I remember doing a playthrough of Shield on my previous channel, and I saved like 3 episodes just in the wild area. I was just going all around, just finding all the items, seeing all the mods. Just so good. Gym leaders, fantastic.
Oh, the gym leader themes? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Best ones.
So it's so good. One of the great, like, I agree with you. I hadn't had as fun in a long time playing Pokemon as when I played ORAS for the first time. I completely agree. Coming to Gen 8, I was blown away. I was like, oh my god, this is so much fun. The mons, incredible. Finally, starters that I actually enjoyed again. The Pokédex, great diversity of Pokemon.
I didn't even speak on that. Yeah, the Pokédex is great.
I love that they continued the variations of the Galarian variations. I think that's such a cool concept that they brought, and I'm glad that they kept Gigantamaxing and Dynamaxing. It's like you grab Mega Evolution and Z-moves, fuse them together. Here you go for 3 turns. Yeah. I think that was kind of cool. I thought that was super different. I didn't use it as much, but playing it in a competitive and stuff, and just seeing it right now, it's cool. They did a very good job. The story, I like it. I think they had a solid story. My
only thing was that the evil team, I feel like, was introduced way too late.
Yeah.
And there was no real hint towards it. I mean, it was kind of obvious. Like, Chairman Rose, probably, spoilers, Chairman Rose is probably going to be evil, but there was no like little snippets here or there.
Yeah.
There was just kind of like, oh yeah, they kind of run the region.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, you kind of have to guess for yourself, like, are they?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I know what you mean, but I felt like I kind of liked the mystery of it because all the other games, you know who you're fighting. This time you thought maybe it was Yell, and then like a quarter through the game, you're like, yeah, it can't be Yell. Yeah, they're just so weird. But then you're like, who's the bad guy? Is it Dr. Rose? But then you see his secretary, and you're like, maybe it's just his secretary that's manipulating him. And then you're like, maybe it's someone else. You know, I just thought it was really good. The legendaries, the two wolves, really fantastic. The same thing with Eternatus. Having a huge hand for the first time. So cool. Very cool. What else did I really like about it as well? Like the new moves that they brought in. I like that they're bringing a lot of new moves every generation now. And a couple of the moves that they brought in for this.
This was really a huge generation for competitive.
Very.
Because they brought out a lot of moves, a lot of items.
Yeah.
And new abilities and stuff.
Yeah, and that's another thing. For Generation 8 to competitive, brought so many mons that are like idols in competitive. Talking about one of our good buddies have in his team right now. Derek has.
I mean, which one? He's got.
Well,
he's got a few.
Who's the biggest fish of them all? Right? You know what I mean? He's just, you know, not just competitive. Gen 8, very good. And I'm sure when Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl comes out, they're gonna be fantastic. They're gonna be fantastic. Not obviously the same like art style, but it's gonna be in the same platform of Generation 8, and I know they're gonna blow it out of the water. They're gonna do a great job. So that's my feelings on Gen 8. So now, before we end this off, we can rate what best from 1 to 4, best, and then we can end it off, I guess, because I don't know how.
So definitely. So this is actually the toughest one because this half of the generations has like 3 of my most favorite ones.
Yeah, me too.
I can easily say 6 is 4th. Though that's not really a contest for me. Like I feel like 6 doesn't, especially the generations that surround it, definitely doesn't hold up to them in my opinion. 5, 7, and 8 just are better in every way than Gen 6. So easily Gen 6 and 4th. I'd say 5, 7, and 8 are my top 3. Gen 3 would also be up there as well. Like that would be in my top 4. I guess we could give our overall. Let's do our final 4 and then overall, I guess, real quick.
Okay, wait. Are we considering X and Y and Oras in the same, or are we gonna?
That's 6. That is Gen 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire, Leaf Green are Gen 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd go for these 4 gens. I'd probably go 5, 8, 7, 6. Just because of how much I've been playing Sword and Shield recently and how much fun I've been having with it. And seeing Carlos, how much fun he's having with it. Right now, Gen 8 is up there for me. It's honestly, I need to redo my game tier list because a lot of things have changed since then. Most importantly, Sword and Shield have changed since then.
Well,
I really love those games. I have fun with them, so that's for me.
Well, no wonder we're Soul Link because our first tier was the same, and this tier is the same as well. It's
perfect.
5, 8, 7, 6. It's just, it's no competition for me. 5 and 8 are obviously, they blow the other games out of the water. 7 is really good as well. Don't get me wrong. Sun and Moon, really good as well.
Yeah.
But compared to Sword and Shield and Gen 5, no, they don't even get close to them. And then Gen 6, just, I love Oras.
Gen 6.
It's Gen 6, man.
Oras would be the only reason, like if I were to put Oras in Gen 6, Oras would be the only reason Gen 6 would go higher than it would. If it was just X and Y, it'd be lower. But because Oras is included, I would put it higher. So overall, including remakes into their generation, I think I'd still put 5 as king.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'd still put 5 up there. I think I'd put 3 behind that. Because I very much enjoy Emerald. I very much enjoy Fire Leaf Green. I think I would put 8. Not gonna lie, really enjoy Sword and Shield. I think I'd put 8 right now, at least. It might change, who knows. But right now I'd put 8 third. 4th, I'd probably put 7. 5th, I'd probably put, this is where it gets tough. So bottom is definitely 1. Gen 1's definitely at the bottom.
Yeah, me too.
Second to last is Gen 2. Just not a fan of those ones. I guess it'd be a little bit easier to go down.
Yeah.
From the bottom.
Yeah,
and then
that's what
Gen
I was gonna
4 and Gen 6, just because of Oras, I'd probably put 6 above 4 right now. I like Platinum. I really like Platinum. I'm not a huge fan of Heart Gold Soul Silver as remakes. Platinum is literally the only reason I throw Gen 4. But if we're including Diamond and Pearl and Heart Gold Soul Silver in Gen 4, it definitely drags it down for me. So I would go 5. How did I word it? 5, 3, 8, 7. Then it would be, I think I did it 6, 4, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think my list is the same as you. The only place where I'm having a hard time picking, it's between the 8 and 3. I think I'd still leave it like that because Gen 3 is just so good to me. I think it's the same list. I think it's the same list. Yeah.
I just think Gen 3 like has 5 games and they're all really good.
Yeah.
Like it has 5 games and they're all really good. Same with well, I guess it's only Sword and Shield. But Gen 5 as well. Gen 5 has 4 games and they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I guess it's I don't know if they ever plan to do something. If Generation 8 continues to do other DLC for this for Sword and Shield, my opinion's just gonna go higher and higher for it. Even if it's not the best DLC, having more content for it will up my game.
I mean, what I really liked was the fact that they finally skipped a year. Yeah. I personally think Pokemon main series should be on a 2-year cycle because that allows it to grow and develop. You get better quality Pokemon, better quality region.
Yeah, me too.
And that kind of, to a certain degree, I feel like, you didn't really need to do as much of the DLCs. It was just programming the Pokemon in, their animations and stuff. Yeah. And then the region, or not the region, the area that you're in. It's basically another wild area because it's about the same size, I would say. It's probably bigger, but, it's not a lot. It's not as much as a whole game. You know what I mean? There aren't as many NPCs. There aren't as many, things like that and stuff. It's just a lot of wild wilderness. But yeah, so we got to wrap this up because we're quite over time. So let us know down below your guys' Gen 5 through 8 ranking and then your overall Gens 1 through 8 ranking. Yes. Whether you agree with us, disagree with us, be civil in the comments, please. I know this is where topics get... arguments get heated, so keep it civil. But that's gonna be it for this episode. We had quite the discussion, very good discussion in my opinion. Very good. And we'll be taking on Guzma next episode. We'll have another discussion planned for that. But like I said, that's gonna be for this episode. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Of course, check out my man Jechnician in the description down below. His socials are all down there. Channel, Twitter, Instagram, everything is all down there. Check it out. Also, the playlist link for this series is down there. I said this early in the episode. If this is the first episode you're watching, hopefully you don't mind that it's probably gonna be like 40 minutes long.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully you don't mind. But if you want to see the other episodes, the playlist link is down below. And also, like I mentioned earlier, 200 subscriber celebrations coming in August. Do you have anything else left to say, Jack?
No. I can't wait to see what you guys think and what your lists are in the comments. And we will see you not next week, but the week after that for our regular scheduled series.
Yes. And of course, be sure to share socials with your friends, family, everyone you know. Let the people know Jechnician, Lonely Hermit's where it's at. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
What?
Bye.